So I used to live in Houston, Texas. And if you're not... No. No, that is inappropriate, because if you're not familiar with Houston, Texas, briefly, it's where SAD goes to get AIDS. It is not a city, it is an infection. It has that southern pride in nothing, and that additional Texas machismo, and it just gets into you. That whole, it's like, oh, I don't need comfort, I can just tough it out, and who cares? So, it was really, no, there's nothing to be proud of there, because they also don't have state income taxes, so there's nothing to pay for anything. Like, the parks there are vacant lots with scrub grass. If you're walking down the street with a soda, you finish your soda, there are no public garbage cans to throw things away in. But that won't happen because you can't walk anywhere in Houston. You have to drive from point to point, and to drive anywhere you have to get on the freeways. And as soon as you're on the freeways in Houston, you have entered the machine of Houston, which is a giant misery mill designed to just squeeze all the sadness out of you, just crush you into a perfect effluent of despair which drips down and oils the gears of the very machine crushing you into an ever finer paste. I hated Houston so much that I applied to teach English in Korea. Which is nothing against Korea, but I don't speak Korean. I don't like rice. And they told me there's a good chance you'll be placed in a city without electricity or water. And I am running water. And I am a fussy, fussy first world person. But the thought of dying, stinking, starving in the dark in Korea was better than living in Houston. Luckily for me, I got accepted into grad school here in Philly. And I was like, great, I'm getting the hell out of here. But like I said, Houston infects you. So when I left, I had that machismo. I was like, I'm going to drive straight through. And I'm only going to sleep in the parking lots of Walmarts, Waffle Houses, and rest stops. So it's the middle of August. I'm driving up the first day. I'm about halfway through Missouri at this point, the last state of the South before I hit the Midwest. I'm almost free. But I'm also really tired. So I pull over into a rest stop. I'm like, okay, let's go take a nap, go sleep. And while I'm sleeping, I start hearing, you gotta open your window. You gotta open your window. What the hell is it? And I wake up, and there's a guy right here tapping on my window. And I'm like, you gotta open your window. I wrote down, it's hot out here, you might get sick. I have no idea what's going on. I'm like, is he a cop? Is he a park ranger? Am I in trouble? And he's talking to me. He's asking me these questions. And I'm looking at the clock, trying to figure out how long I've been asleep, as though the clock will tell me what the past was. And I'm like, what's going on? And as he's talking to me, I'm answering his questions, I realize, oh, he's not a cop or anything. He's just some guy. And he's propositioning me. And as soon as I realized, I'm like, oh, no, dude, I'm okay, thanks, though. I'm like, you sure? You ever tried it? It's nice. He reaches through the window and rests his hand on my stomach. And now I am wide awake. Because uninvited touching is a big, bright line. And I go, no, dude, I'm good. I gotta go. He's like, okay, he takes his hand away, and I book it out of there, and I'm running on pure adrenaline until I get to Chicago, where I finally just reach like that emotional and physical break, and I'm like, no, I can't take it anymore, and I get a hotel room, and I order a pizza, and I'm feeling bad, because, you know, that Houston thing, like, oh, you can't pay for comfort, you shouldn't pay for things you like, and I turn on the TV, and it's PBS, and they're showing Doctor Who. And I'm like, I felt like the fever break and Houston leave me. And that feeling of that guy at that rest stop who felt like the final demon of the South reaching out, South will rise again. I'd escaped it all. I was finally free and able to live the rest of my life.